the Ambazonians pledge our loyalty, present to our Savior who granted us our freedom, our legends to the hero who bowed the road with Yagam. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in a nation flowing with earth and holy. Glory, glory, glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joy forevermore. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation. Ambazonia, land of freedom, you shall live in plenty, meeting our needs, and your children shall be like the stars above. The Most High God being the watchman of this nation.
My fellow Amazonians, dear people, I come to you as your humble servant today on behalf of the leadership of our revolution. I salute all our people on the home ground. I salute our people in ground one, those of you neighboring the Republic of Cameroon, refugees scattered all over Africa, those that have gone as far as America, the IDPs, the great people of Ambazonia, whether in the homeland or in the diaspora. My dear people, it is almost 3 full years when neighboring the Republic of Cameroon's dictator, Paul Biya, declared war on our people. When war was declared on our people, we must emphasize that it was declared on all the people of the Southern Cameroons. And as if to give testimony to the intent of that action, our people are killed daily. And when they come to kill, they don't dig deep into your heart to know who you are, to know what you stand for. You get killed because you're Ambazonian. My dear people, we, the restorationists, we, the people that stand for total and unconditional independence, we that consider ourselves the liberators of our people, we ask you to all know that this is a holy mission. This is a patriotic responsibility. This is an assignment for generation. And God forbid, our generation must not fail. I thank God that in the midst of whatever is happening, the resolve of our people is so strong. On a daily basis, La Republic's killing spree continues. Mass killings, mass slaughter of anything Ambazonian, from farmers to market men and women, from Okada riders to school pupils and students, from old fathers and mothers to babies that are yet to be born. Anything Ambazonian is slaughtered. My dear people, it's genocide perpetrated on the people, and it has continued unabated. The international community, to a large extent, stands charged as conspirators, guilty for not only standing and watching, but for supporting the manslaughter of our people. I, however, give you good news as a voice of our people and of our leadership, that we remain strong and resolved. We remain focused and determined. We remain unshakable in the midst of our pain. There is pain, a lot of it on a daily basis. We bury our people, our innocent civilians, on a daily basis. We bury our freedom fighters, illustrious men and women who now use their own bodies as shields in the protection of their land, their country, and their people. We see their blood flowing on our streets on a daily basis. We see the anguish of our mothers and fathers, our brothers and sisters. They mourn and cry unstoppable, but the very next day, La Republic is next door doing the same thing, what they're so good at, killing innocent people. There will never be a justification for La Republic killing anybody of Southern Cameroon's extraction. If any of us ever doubted just how legitimate and just how noble our cause is, you must tune into the facts of history. You must tune into history. Tune into the history of our struggle and just look at the profile of those that came before us. They're all great, great men and women, the base of every society. Just look at the nearer 10. Look at the number of professors, the number of doctors, the number of barristers and engineers and teachers and writers and what have you. You will have no doubt that this is a fight for responsible people, for responsible citizens and responsible patriots. My dear people, it is 3 years of Paul Biya's genocide. It is 3 years of La République du Cameroon's terrorist government soldiers killing our people without cause. It is 3 years of La République ramshacking our economy and ensuring that anything Ambazonian is destroyed. But we remain strong. More than 500 villages have been roasted. We remain strong. More than 33,000 of our people have been slaughtered gruesomely in the most primitive of ways. We remain strong. Our people in La République, those working for their government, they are prisoners in their own houses and in their own communities and in their own workplaces. They don't have a voice to speak out for what they believe in. And even in their silence, they remain victims of the oppressor. But I've got good news for you, my dear people. I have good news for you. You see, everybody gets to die. And if there's anything you must know, we, freedom fighters, if there is one thing we don't fear, is we don't fear death. We don't fear death because we know everybody's going to die someday. You want to know what we fear the most? We fear betraying our people. There will never be a justification for betraying the revolution, for betraying the quest of a free people, for betraying the determination of my grandparents and your grandparents, my parents and your parents, my brothers and sisters and neighbors and community members, of having a place they can call home, a place they can hope again, and a place they can dream again. La République must know that they can continue killing the flesh, but the spirit of liberation can never be killed. And this generation is not ready to transfer the burden of the liberation of our people to the next generation. Cameroon already is defeated. The cost of occupation is excruciating. Cameroon is not able to meet its own fiscal. Without a doubt, its own people will turn against the authoritarian regime in Yaoundé very soon. The same military they use to slaughter our people will soon get baptized with the facts of life. The same military will turn against this authoritarian regime, against the occupier, against the colonizer. My dear people, we have the responsibility to stay the course. We have the responsibility to work with all constructive, all sacrificial forces of this revolution. We have the responsibility on a daily basis to ask ourselves, what have we done to move the liberation of our people one step towards Boya? Boya we will reach. Boya we will reach. Freedom we will get. I tell you, not to be distracted by the Canadians. Canada will not decide for the people of Ambazonia. I tell you not to be distracted by the British. Britain has a template. And every time you write to the British government and you remind the British government of its legal responsibilities to correct the wrongs of the 50s and 60s, the wrongs of the 70s, 80s, and 90s, the wrongs getting into 2020. Britain goes to its old gurgitated template and rehashes the same stale words that we respect the territorial integrity of La République du Cameroon. And the question the people of the southern Cameroon ask the British government is, where does the boundary of French Cameroon start and end? Britain, where does the boundary of French Cameroon start and end? Let us assume you sold the southern Cameroon as a piece of cake to the French. Britain, can you bring us a legal document that suddenly made the two Cameroons to become one country? We are talking law and we're talking legitimacy. Some of us have had meetings with the Brits in Europe, in their own countries, and the Brits have eloquently stated that they are very embarrassed, very, very embarrassed with the shameful conduct, with the shameful choices that they made when there was a clear UN resolution that let the people go, let them have their freedom, and let them decide. Let them decide what they want for their people and their future. It must be stated on record that when Britain violated the voice of our people at the Manfei Conference, the UN documents were still very clear. The two countries were going to be one, and nobody will ever swallow the southern Cameroons. Let the Brits get this very clearly. We have no business with the French. We have never had an association with the French. We will never have an association with France. Let Britain know this very clearly. And because we will never have an association with France, La République must forget. They will not rule Ambazonia with the barrel of a gun. They will not rule AMBAZONIA with the bar of a gun. We will defeat La République du Cameroon. It takes discipline. It takes dedication. My dear people, I come here tonight to speak to you because it is a very important moment in our revolution. La République has now launched its election of shame, so-called regional elections. But before I talk about regional parasite elections of neighboring La République du Cameroon, I want to talk to you, my dear people. I want you to search your conscience. I want you to have a moment of reflection. And if you fall on the right side of history, the gods of AMBAZONIA and the great God, who's creator of our beautiful country, is celebrating with you. My dear people, every month has plus minus 30 days. And this is my question to you. Over the last 30 days, what have you done to move the liberation struggle forward? 1, have you contributed money toward your liberation? Because this is about you. This is about your own family. This is about your own children. This is about your own parents. This is about hope. This is about security. This is about dreaming again. That's why we're fighting. That's why we're standing against this black colonizer. I want you to reflect. Why did you join the liberation struggle in 2016 and 2017 and probably 2018? We know that some amongst us almost took away your desire, took away your passion, took away the spirit. But this is the question. When you do not commit 100%, how much longer do you want to be in the desert? Just how much longer do you want to be a slave? Just how much longer do you want to remain occupied? Just how much longer do you want to be a third-class citizen in your own country? Just how much longer, just how much longer, just how much longer? Just how much longer do you want your grandmother to go to a police station in your own village and get an uneducated foreign national of French Cameroon speak to your grandmother in a foreign language, French, a language she doesn't hear, a language she doesn't understand, and of course, eventually, a language that will not allow any form of communication, so that at the end of the day, she's not able to get serviced. Just how much longer do you want your children uneducated by uneducated La République du Cameroon French-speaking educated teachers who have no idea about the standard of education we as the proud people of AMBAZONIA subscribe to? Just how much longer do you want miscarriage of justice in our courts? Because the corrupt magistrates appointed from a corrupt country not only do not subscribe to our standards in our justice system, but are corrupt to the core, that corruption is the only legal principle they know and the only way they can administer their kind of justice. Just how much longer? Just how much longer do you want to spend 8 hours on the road to get to Mamfe, to get to Bamenda, to get to Wum, to get to Nyasoso. Just how much longer? Because you getting a road is a right you don't deserve. You must destroy every car you buy or those that ply the road, just so that every day you remember what a slave you are. Just how much longer? Do you want to have schools with no teachers, infrastructure, equipment, paid for by the parasite state of La Republic of Cameroon? Just how many more people do you want killed in our hospitals? Because you have the best of our people in the hospitals, but no medication, no equipment, and so on. This is a fight of our lifetime. The worst thing you can do to yourself, the worst curse you can put on your own generation is to betray a liberation struggle. If you doubt me, you must call the people of Kenya, call the people of Rwanda, the people of Zimbabwe, and the people of South Africa to tell you what happens to betrayers of a liberation struggle like this. Once you betray the people, it means you work for the enemy. It means you're an agent of the enemy. It means you are a merchant of the blood of our people. And that we will not take. So I give this as a very sound warning to anybody who plans to continue on the shameless journey of betraying this revolution. That is game over. It is game over. It is game over. We've buried enough. And as I speak, we are burying. War betide. War betide. If our people are losing their lives because of the callousness of your mind, all you think of is getting the crumbs from the enemy. I must equally say this, that once you take from the enemy, you become an instrument to be used, dumped, and destroyed by the enemy anytime they want. You have heard the testimony of Nambere. You will hear the testimony of John Foncha. You will hear the testimony of Nick Santos, of Felion Kong, and all of them. And never get distracted by the noise these fellows make. They are so few and they have no followers. Don't even get distracted by the noise some that pretend to be with us make. My dear people, the train is on the move. It is on the move. It's on a supersonic highway. It is a train of working together. It is a train of collaboration. It is a train of unity of purpose. It is happening everywhere. Only the blind cannot see this. That the Southern Cameroon's International Town Hall has been making great strides, bringing our people together. That the Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiations has been doing a fantastic job, bringing our people together and giving us an opportunity to educate those who unfortunately remain in the slave thinking of being unionists and federalists, something that has no place in this revolution, in this hour, in this moment of our liberation struggle. But we're glad that these Ambazonians are brought home so that they can get the gospel and become born again. They will, but they must be warned that betrayal is not allowed. We have buried too many to accept any form of betrayal. It must be warned. Betrayal is not allowed. It's not allowed. The Southern Cameroon's Activist Forum is doing a great job bringing like minds together. So too are the humanitarians, and so too is the political class. The tripartite alliance of the interim government under revolutionary leader, President Sisiko Ayoktabe, and Vice President Daphne Yerima. Consortium President, Comrade John Ba Akuru, and the President of the Ambazonian Governing Council, Dr. Choa Yaba. My dear people, it is a trend that is unstoppable. There's a lot of work behind the scenes as well. And all we ask is that all patriotic Ambazonians must join forces and make sure that the craziness that has been in a revolution from 2018 gets buried. We are yet to fully take our country. So anybody who has started creating colonies of leadership in the air, that's craziness. That is craziness. The leaders in this revolution are servants, sacrificial servants. Your role is to contribute more than everybody. Your role is to sacrifice more than everybody. Your role is to find every way to unite. Your role is to find every means possible to make sure that you build bridges, that you ensure people talk to each other, that we work together, we run together, we fight together, and where we have to mourn, we mourn together. Where we have to win, we win together. We are not going to take anything short of that any longer. So this is a sound warning to any of those who call themselves leaders, whether frontline leaders or backline leaders or middle line leaders. We really don't care. We really don't care. We just want to sound this to all leaders, that leadership means showing the way so that your followers can follow. And there are two ways you can show. You can either show the good way or show the bad way. To those of you who have been showing the bad way, and you know we're talking to you, woe betide you. Woe betide you. Because of your actions, we've buried more than enough. We've been very diplomatic in a choice of words, but we must warn that diplomacy in a choice of words has ended. It has ended. We are willing to work with the good leaders. We're willing to work with the focused leaders. We're willing to work with the leaders who speak for our people. We're willing to work with the leaders who understand the pain of our people. We're willing to work with the leaders who do not have the blood of our people on their hands. So we say this boldly as the interim government, that it is the hour for us to work together. Let us put behind us all the craziness and let bygones be bygones. Ground zero suffering and this drama must stop. It must stop, especially to leaders in the diaspora. It's got to stop. Our people have to go home someday. And of course, our people cannot go home to a homeland where bullets are still flying on a daily basis. Our people have to go home to a free homeland, a land where truly they will believe that they can become the best of who they want to be. And homeland we can reach very soon. All we need to do is to work together and stop the craziness. And this is the hour. We would not, I repeat, we will not move into 2021 with the craziness. It's not going to happen. So if you're a leader and you have been a real distraction to the struggle, you've been part of creating surrogate camps, you've been part of manufacturing tales and trying to destroy other leaders. If you know your job has been playing number 10 for La Republic de Cameroon, knowing or unknowingly, it is time to resign from this struggle. It is time to leave the struggle. It is time to abandon the struggle to patriots, to fighters, to freedom warriors of our liberation struggle, to these great men and women, the Amber Boys, the freedom fighters, to patriots across our homeland, in the homeland, great patriots that we speak to on a daily basis, those in Nigeria, those across Europe, in the US, in South Africa, in Gabon, and across Africa. It is time to allow our people to focus. And while we're on that, dear people, I would like to call the attention of all country heads in the diaspora, in Africa, in Europe, in the US, in Canada, and in Australia. It is time to get back home. You have been on holiday and the holiday is over. It is time to start having those meetings again on a weekly basis and on a bi-weekly basis. It is time to start contributing money on a weekly and bi-weekly basis. It is time to start evaluating the contribution of your constituency to this revolution. And if you're a leader and you're not delivering, please do the honorable thing and reorganize elections. Stand by and be an advisor and get some new blood in your steam. Home ground is bleeding. It's unfortunate for you to want to be called a chairperson, a president, a country coordinator, director, whatever, but there's no result showing for it. Leadership is results. Leadership is results. If you can produce results, please get a fresher, younger tree. Help to water the tree and let it grow. Ground zero is bleeding, and this must be corrected. To all county heads, of all our 13 counties, or 14, whatever the case may be, to all local government chairpersons, we'd like to remind you that when the policy of counties and local governments was created, it was really intended to fire this revolution to the next level. It was intended to facilitate fundraising and communication. It was intended to support our boys and girls, to ensure that we have a federal structure where we are able to communicate with each other and ensure that these terrorists do not get into our neighborhood and take away the lives of our people. It is time for all of you, county heads and local government area heads, to sit back and look in the mirror and ask yourself just how many people subscribe to whatever platform that you are a leader in, and just how much money has been raised. Look in the mirror and reflect. Once you agree with us that the real agenda of the people was thwarted, and we are not achieving what we're supposed to achieve, we call on you to please do the honorable thing. Jump out of the divisive house. Please, jump out. Jump out of the divisive house for the sake of the liberation of our people. Let us plan together. Let us work together. Let us have a house, not houses. Let us have a house where all our people get into their house. All our people have the power and are given the power to instruct us as leaders to run according to their aspirations. Let us get a mandate, and let us make the mandate renewable. 2-year mandate also, whatever Constitution say, so that once you cannot deliver, once you know you've run out of steam, hand over. Hand over. We have delayed a move into Boya. It is game over. We've got to turn the page. My dear people, I thought this introduction was extremely important, partly because La Republic is bent on keeping us as slaves. You've now heard of La Republic de Cameroon's planned 6th December 2020 so-called regional parasite elections. What are regional elections? Who sanctioned them? Who will be voted? Who are they going to represent? Who will they be reporting to? As you get the answers to each of these questions, ladies and gentlemen, fellow freedom fighters, fellow Ambazonians, you can only but wonder who the hell would want their name to appear on a list of traitors and betrayers? Who the hell would want their names to appear on the list of sellouts, people who have decided that they will become big on the blood of the people, that as genocide remains unabated, as La Republic continues its killing spree, it is an opportunity for them to shine. We say war betide them. The last elections La Republic has held in our land, La Republic has come to terms that they have no power to organize any elections in Amazonia. That elections organized by the parasite colonizer, La Republic, are illegitimate, not recognized, cannot even hold. Our people stay at home, do not vote, and so have no representatives. So if you get into these elections, you must know you have chosen colonial Cameroon over your homeland, Ambazonia. If you get into this election as a candidate, you have declared that you are a murderer. You have declared that you are a genocide enabler. You have declared that you enjoy seeing La Republic prevent our children from going to school. You enjoy seeing La Republic torture our grandparents and parents. You enjoy seeing La Republic killing our people without cause. It must be known that the interim government has put out a very clear statement. Vice President Daphne Yerima, in his statement, was very eloquent. La Republic is denied the right of any form of legitimacy in Ambazonia. La Republic is denied the right to administer anything in Ambazonia. Any actions by La Republic in Ambazonia are illegal. They're illegitimate and therefore banned. And so anybody associating with La Republic in any form or shape is doing so at their own risk, because those people have chosen to join La Republic to slaughter our people. They have chosen hopelessness over hope. They have chosen slavery over freedom. The 6th December so-called elections are banned all over Ambazonia. We call on our restoration forces to take note. We call on all Ambazonians to take note. We call on all international friends of Ambazonia to take note. La Republic has no legitimacy over our land, and so has no right to organize any elections in Ambazonia, and will never have a right. Dear people of Ambazonia, our dream and our hope on a daily basis is that your lives are spared by the wicked occupier. We call on you to begin to stock food, medication, and water. Without a doubt, Ambazonia will be grounded over the days of the elections. We will not want our people to suffer the brunt of the occupier. We will make sure that they will not be able to move in our country. We will make sure that they will not be able to get their military to come and vote in the name of Ambazonians. We will make sure that they receive 0% across our country. So, if you've heard of any of your family members participating in this election at this hour, in any shape or form, reach out to your family member. Tell them that it is a patriotic responsibility for them to stand out in the market and declare that, one, they disassociate themselves from anything like Republic elections. Two, they never applied to be put on that election list. And three, nobody must ever consider them as part of La Republic, and that La Republic must take out the name from the list. This has to be done in written form and in video form. We are at war. It is a liberation war. Enablers are worse than the enemy because enablers sleep with us. They walk with us. They cook with us, and they eat with us. Let it be known that La Republic will never have legitimacy over our people. That is why whoever participated in a so-called parliamentary or senatorial elections does not have the freedom to live amongst our people. Chiefs and funds who betrayed the people by supporting the enemy do not have the courage to live amongst the people. Once you stay true to our liberation journey, true to our cause, you live amongst our people. You get protected by attacking bands and the gods of our land. It is the right thing to do. It is a horrible thing to betray your people, a people fighting for liberation. It is a horrible thing. So let it be rooted. Let all activists, all country heads, local government leaders, and county leaders, all humanitarian groupings, and all leaders in our revolution do take note that it is a revolutionary responsibility to make sure that this message is communicated as widely as possible. La République du Cameroon, so-called parasite regional elections banned all of Ambazonia. No Ambazonian must participate in it. It is a patriotic call. It is a patriotic responsibility, and I've got trust you would deliver excellently. My dear people, my next topic of discussion is fundraising. We will not liberate Ambazonia without sacrifice. You cannot be rich without investing capital. Let it be known that many of you have sacrificed so much over the last 4 years, and many of you continue to sacrifice your lives. I will continue to repeat this on behalf of the interim government, that it is a revolutionary responsibility to contribute until you bleed. Contribute until you bleed. You have to make a deliberate financial decision. Every week, every month, I receive my salary. 20% or so of my salary is towards the liberation of my people. Find something in this revolution and make sure that religiously that money goes there to move our revolution one step forward. The excuse that some people have messed up and I cannot contribute is unfortunate, it's unwise. The contribution is very similar to that of the story in the Bible of the rich man when he was going away. He gave 5 talents to one and 2 talents to another and 1 talent to the other. And the one with 1 talent said, and there's no wisdom in that. Just imagine if the one with 5 talents said the same thing, or any of you saying the same thing. What a wicked boss. What a difficult revolution. I would not want to put my money in because it could get lost. I can assure you that any investment you put in this revolution would never get lost. You know why? It would never be the same again. Our people will never be second-class citizens again. We will never take second and third jobs only again. We will never be forced to speak French in our own land again. We will never be terrorized by armies that are armies and police officers again. It is never going to happen. So the investment you're making is towards that future. And you know what? Liberation is difficult business. But I can assure you on a daily basis, we're making great strides. I'm more confident today than I was this time last year, than I was in 2017, that we're making great strides. Do not forget that the international community initially were not even talking about us. Now they're all talking about us. The Americans, the Canadians, the Germans, the Brits, the French, the Ghanaians, the South Africans, they're all talking about us. Even good citizens of La Republic du Cameroon are calling the government to end the senseless war. They're calling the government to pull out their troops. They're calling the government to release all our political prisoners. My dear people, I can assure you, it's never going to be the same again. You've done well. You've done so well. We're so proud of you. We just have one last lap to go. And that lap requires that we isolate all the bad seeds. Isolate, I mean. We isolate all the bad seeds. And all the good seeds and patriots must now work together so that we can liberate homeland. We need to reorganize the constituencies. We need to get our people to donate money on a weekly basis again. We need to fund this liberation like never again. We need to fund our boys. We need to equip our boys. We need to equip our communication infrastructures. We need to finance our diplomatic missions. We need to do this. Nobody's going to do it for us. We need to do this. My dear people, it is for that reason that at this hour in our liberation, I take the pleasure to launch. I take the pleasure to launch the Department of Communication and Information Technology Fund Drive. This Liberation Fund Drive is very similar to the Liberation Fund Drive we launched during the last elections organized by La Republic du Cameroon. You donated big and we delivered big. Our people got the message. Our people got to understand even better why we are fighting, because as we go along, some of our people forget why the liberation struggle is on course. The Department of Communication plays a very important role in this struggle, like our freedom fighters, like our restoration forces. Communication is a very powerful tool. And you know that under my leadership, this communication department has stayed on a very responsible line. We articulate the revolution. We inspire our people. We encourage our people. We educate our people. I have never allowed anybody under my leadership to do what others do. We never blackmail. We never manufacture lies. We build. We don't destroy. We encourage. We even stretch a hand to those that do everything to destroy us. This is a moment for you to make sure your name is written on the list. I will begin this fund drive by making a personal contribution of $200. $200. And I call on each and every one of you to please come in and contribute to your strength. Like last time, the highest contributed $500. Some of you contributed $25. Those of you with $10, please do contribute. Those with $100, please do contribute. It is a revolutionary responsibility. Your revolutionary investment is the best capital you can invest for love of country, for love of Ambazonia and a flag. Let's do it for motherland. My dear people, the second fund drive I'm going to drive right now It's a fund drive to keep SCBC signals beaming on the ground. I'd like to take you into 2017. Just remember the work SCBC did. Remember how you used to fight to get SCBC, whether by peeping through a window, walking kilometers just to go and sit around a neighbor's TV, or using car batteries in the bush just to make sure you're able to beam onto SCBC signals. That was before some bad seeds came into the revolution. My dear people, communication is the most powerful weapon, one of the most powerful towards liberation. Based in one of the countries where a lot of SCBC work is being done, I can tell you that the parasite state of the Republic of Cameroon has done everything in their powers over the last 4 years to shut down SCBC, and every time they have failed, because true sacrificial patriots have brought in everything they had: technology, knowledge, skills, patriotism, everything, time, effort, sacrifice to keep this TV alive. And so the question is, what have you been doing? When is the last time you made a contribution towards the sustenance of SCBC? I made a contribution the month that just passed. I will be making a contribution of $100 to launch the SCBC fund drive. I want to thank the board of directors of SCBC. You have done a wonderful job over the last 4 years, and in the midst of pain, I've been in your meetings and I've seen great leadership you've shown. Thank you, and thank you so much. I want to thank the German community most importantly. If SCBC is alive today after it was attacked, almost buried by those who had decided to do it or were sponsored to do this, had it not been for the German community, this diabolic plan would have worked. The German community remains the biggest sponsors of SCBC. And what our SCBC leaders in Germany have done is they have formed an SCBC club, recruited patriotic Ambazonians in Germany. And every month, these patriotic Ambazonians make a contribution of $100, $200, $500 towards the sustenance of SCBC. Germany cannot carry this alone. And now challenge all country and regional leaders in the diaspora. Form SCBC clubs in your different constituencies. Begin by sending a $200, $300 contribution to SCBC on a monthly basis. As I speak to you now, SCBC signals are not beaming down on ground zero. And it's very unfortunate because this liberation is on the home ground. This liberation will be won on ground zero. We need to speak to the heart of our people on ground zero. And for no reason should SCBC ever be off air again. But SCBC will be off air if you fail to deliver your own responsibility. So as we speak right now, if you're on Facebook, make a commitment. Make a commitment, my fellow Ambazonians, dear patriots. Make a monthly commitment. And do not wait to be reminded. Put a stop order. If you play your part, we will play our part. And the signals will beam on the ground, and our people will remain inspired. As you know, the Southern Cameroon's Broadcasting Corporation is the voice of Ambazonia. It is the people's TV. You have the right at any time to make constructive criticisms so that we can improve. We always want to improve. I have no doubt that as I speak, agents sent by the enemy are writing. Every time you see the negative comment from enemies, from agents, please ignore them. We do not have time to waste with detractors. There's too much work involved in the liberation of our people. And so we call on all our people to focus. So the first fund drive I've launched is that for the Department of Communication and Information Technology. It is intended to fund our communication projects to ensure that our people are so empowered, know who they are, know what their rights are, shun and bury La Republic for once by staying away from their parasite elections. The second fundraising I've launched is that of the Southern Cameroon's Broadcasting Cooperation. We need 200 Ambazonians who will commit to donating a $50 or $100 a month. And when you donate, you search for SCBC donation platforms. Or if you donate on your platform, you must ensure that the collectors have your reference as SCBC and the money is passed over to SCBC. Every patriotic Ambazonian movement front citizen, fully vetted, I emphasize on that, fully vetted, has a right to come to SCBC and inspire people. But that is under the strict adherence of editorial policy. We do not succumb to blackmail, to backstabbing. We do not accept negative talk. As a revolutionary TV station, we inspire, we encourage, we activate, and we get our people the truth, so that with the truth, they can be fired up towards freedom. So make sure you contribute to those two funds. My dear people, the third I'm going to announce is one right at the center of my heart for the great work they have been doing. And let me begin it this way. On the 30th of November, 2017, just a month after President Sisiko Ayoktabe declared the restoration of the nation of Ambazonia, something enemies and detractors would never revoke. Mr. Paul Biya, coming from the Ivory Coast, at the Simaleng airport, declared war on our people. Ever since that day, it is mourning from one Ambazonian community to another. Under his instructions, our villages have been erased. Our people are refugees everywhere, including those that have jumped into La Republic de Cameroon. Our brothers and sisters, including our leaders, that includes Comrade Mancho BBC, Senator Penn Terence, Comrade T. Conrad, Comrade Asa Patrick Ndango, and the rest, all Ambazonians, young boys and girls, children, remain under the captivity of the occupier in the filthy detention centers. My dear people, the 30th of November 2020 will make exactly 3 years that La Republic has refused dialogue, refused negotiations, and chose war. It would make exactly 3 years that La Republic has continued to perpetuate genocide in our country, that La Republic has ensured that the young generation of today remain uneducated, as our schools have now become army barracks. Our places of worship have now become army barracks. The Southern Cameroon's International Town Hall leadership has asked me to tell Ambazonians that this is a moment we must all work together. For working together and fighting together is winning together. The town hall is, by this announcement, launching a massive mega fundraising to commemorate 3 years of Bia's declaration of war on the Southern Cameroon's people. This massive fundraising will be taking place on the 28th of November, Saturday, the 28th of November from 4 p.m. I therefore ask you to diarize that moment. Make sure you sacrifice time. Make sure you are there, and make sure you come ready to contribute. As you know, the town hall has been doing a wonderful job to move our revolution forward. The town hall has been raising money to support all facets of our revolution. It is called mega fundraising because this mega fundraising is not only being run by the town hall. The town hall is running these with all Ambazonian groups that are affiliates to the International Town Hall. My dear people, I will be there. I will make my contribution because that's the little way in which I can help to contribute towards the liberation of homeland, knowing especially that if I were on ground zero, I most certainly will be a great liberator. I will be doing what the brave boys and girls are doing. But given that I'm far off, the least I can do is sacrifice the money for the weekend shows, for beer and meat some of you drink, or for the holiday you plan taking your family. Sacrifice that for the liberation. Join us at the Southern Cameroon's International Town Hall meeting, 4 p.m. on Saturday, the 28th of November. And that is precisely just 8 days from now. Let us make Ambazonia proud. My dear people, the last fundraising call is for the Bank of Ambazonia. As you know, the Bank of Ambazonia is the bank of the people. The Bank of Ambazonia launched freedom bonds, and so many patriotic Ambazonians have bought various types of freedom bonds, from self-defense to diplomacy to humanitarian. And my question to you is, have you started the journey? Have you started the journey of owning a bond for $250? If you have not started the journey, this is the good news. You can begin the journey by just paying $1. Getting yourself registered in the platform of Patriots and contributing on a monthly basis. My dear people, we have to do this. And for all other great platforms like the DAC platform, make sure you contribute. To take note, I've taken time to speak about contributions. Make sure you send money to support IDPs, support refugees, support our political detainees, support our people in hospitals, support wounded soldiers, support our soldiers. It is a patriotic responsibility. I have taken time to talk a lot about money because this we must do. If we don't do it, nobody will do it. If we do it, our journey to Boya will be quicker. So why will you want to prolong the liberation of your people, the people you love and cherish and the people you're fighting for? Share this message. Make sure all Ambazonians get this. It is time to put patriotism in front. It is time to put Ambazonia first. It is time to pay loyalty to our flag first. It is time to contribute to our liberation like never before. It is time to ensure that your CV in secret knows that on a weekly and monthly basis, you are loyal to the liberation of our people. Do know that to those of you who have never contributed, to those of you who keep looking and saying others will do it, we will liberate this country. We will liberate Ambazonia, but your conscience will kill you. So don't let that happen, my dear brother and sister. Please go out there. Go out there. If you want to make a contribution right now, please do that. Comrade Eric Tarto's been doing a great job raising contributions online. Please do that. It is the right thing to do. My dear people, I want to end this presentation today by invoking the spirit of a great legend, the spirit of one who would never die, the spirit of one who was so patriotic to the core, the spirit of one who saw against organizational lines. He was ADF, he was AGC, but above all, he was more Ambazonian than anything else. He spoke for Ambazonia. He stood for Ambazonia. He fought for Ambazonia. And I refuse to say he died. He did not die. He flew to his place of rest for Ambazonia. It is the one and only General Ivo. For the people of Ambazonia, we give you military salute, General. We know without doubt that there will be that massive road, hospital, military barrack, university, name it. It will be named after you. Nobody can stop it. Your words today are as alive as they were in those days. General Ivo, you lived a good life. You fought a good fight. And you exited the scene as a great general. Even when your own fought you, you still came out as a great unifier. I want all Ambazonians to go back and listen to the great words of General Ivo. Let us all be General Ivo. Let us live the spirit of General Ivo. Let us stay the course of General Ivo. Let us stay focused, knowing that someday everybody would die. But it's better to die for a good cause than die as a coward. General, we salute you. May you live forever. And to all fighters, generals, Ambazonian citizens slaughtered as a result of a war of liberation, I now ask all Ambazonians to pay them the highest respect. These are martyrs of our liberation, painfully watering the tree of liberty. Minute of silence, please. May the souls of these great liberators, fighters, and patriots rest in perfect power. Amen. I want to pay special respect to our leader, the man who sacrificed everything, putting his people first, Sisiko Ayoktabe. I want to tell Sisiko Ayoktabe, and of course, as we speak to President Sisiko, this we're using as a point of contact. We are speaking to all prisoners of conscience, all freedom fighters in La République du Cameroon's filthy jails, those of you in bunkers, those of you who spent 4 years, 3 years without trial, those of you who've been brutalized by La République on a daily basis. I'm speaking to refugees in Nigeria, in Ghana, in Morocco, in South Africa, in South America, in America. I'm speaking to Ambazonian refugees in La République du Cameroon. I'm speaking to Ambazonians, internally displaced, as well as externally displaced people. Using the president as a point of contact, I want to say we salute you. We appreciate you. We celebrate you. And most importantly, we share your pain. If we've never said this, I must say it so loudly, that we feel your pain, that on a daily basis, we wonder how you go through 24 hours of a day when you were moved out of your routine, when you moved out of your community, when you were seized out of your family, when your job, your business was destroyed. The pain is unbearable. But my dear people, as unfortunate as it is, freedom is not given. freedom is seized. We were lucky when we left the East Nigerian House of Assembly, all 13 of our representatives, and came to Boya and formed a government. Unfortunately, the French don't know peace. The French only know brutality, war, oppression, and suppression. Unfortunately, when we started the journey, we had not seen how far we will go, but God had ordained it at this hour that we will stay the course. We will fight to liberate our people, and we will liberate our people. We are all prisoners. We are all refugees. No Ambazonian can tell me they are free. It doesn't make sense. We are all fighters. We are all liberators. Let us be each other's keeper. Our motto, all for one, one for all, should be the rallying point or the rallying cry, the rallying voice at this hour. Let us preach it wherever we go. Let us sing songs of unity. Let us sing songs of collaboration. Or if you call it strategic partnerships, let us work together. Let us do it for our people. Let us shorten the pain of our people. Let us shorten the journey to Boya. Let us make this freedom we all test for come so soon. We don't need to repeat another 22nd September. Our people spoke. We must deliver. If I'm taken out, you will deliver. If you are taken out, the other comrade will deliver. So La Republic must not waste its time taking out leaders of our revolution. What happened in the US to Comrade Eric Tato is very unfortunate. I spoke about it the last time when I addressed the nation. We have alerted the American authorities to know that La Republic has exported its terrorism to its shores. And we call on Comrade Eric Tato to stay strong. You are with your people, and our people's prayers would keep your lives strong. No weapon fashioned against you will ever prosper. This terrorist government has tried an assassination attempt against Vice President Daphne Yerima. We have equally put the Netherlands government under high alert that La Republic's terrorism has been exported. My dear people, be each other's keeper. Have your ears on the ground. Do not lose the very important strategic security circles we have within the enemy territory. Let our intelligence be spot on so that we are able to protect the lives of our people. Most importantly, go out there and be a bearer of good news. Please, if you ever joined the so-called Blue and White Army, I ask you to please turn the page, resign, apologize to our people, and become Ambazonian. We are fighting for an Ambazonian for all Ambazonians, not some. If you ever lied because you did not know, if you joined the wrong group because you were not sure, if you joined the wrong group because you were deceived, and now your eyes are open, it is well. I know of the story of the prodigal son. Oh, the prodigal daughter, we will take you home if you clean yourself in eau de javel. Look in the mirror and say, I just want to be born again. So, my dear people, I want to recap again. It is 3 years of Biafra's war. We are getting to year 5 of our liberation struggle. Our liberation is on course, irrespective of the pain we're going through. La Republic, 6th December, so-called regional parasite elections is banned. Fellow Ambazonians, do not allow yourself to be part of the sham. It's not worth it. Homeland will be free. Join liberators. Let us liberate Homeland so you can be a proud representative of your people in your own country, in your own parliament, in your own council, in your own provincial or county legislature, or whatever we call it. Don't be a sellout. Don't be a blackmailer. It's not worth it. Several fundraising campaigns launched. Contribute to the Department of Communication and Information Technology so that our parents, brothers and sisters would get the gospel that will stop La Republic from infiltrating our land and running its illegal elections. Contribute to keep SCBC alive by making sure that you put your name on the list that are circulating on all platforms. Make plans to join the Southern Cameroon's International Hall meeting and its partners as they launch the mega fundraising to mark the 3rd anniversary of Biya declaring war on our people. It is the right thing to do. And most importantly, live the righteous lives of General Ivo, live the righteous life of Sisiko Ayoktabi. And to all our fighters still alive, see through the candle of General Aruke. Be the soldier who says, I have never kidnapped and I've never taken ransom, because that's not Ambazonian. And that goes contrary to the spirit of our revolution. Stay the course and be focused. Homeland will be free. It's unstoppable. We are on supersonic speed. It will be achieved. It is time to work together. Be a player. Be a party. Make sure you are counted. It is total independence or resistance or ever. God bless you. God bless Ambazonia.
Glory, we the Ambazonians pledge our loyalty. Presence to our Savior who granted us the freedom. Our legacy to the hero who bore the land with Diablo. Glory to glory, we rise and never to fall. Here in our nation, flowing with earth and holy. Glory to the Father for making you a nation, a joyful